Yo, D-Lo 404 here. I want to drop a little Saturday video after just watch that Tyson Fury Pianetta fight. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Before I get started, I just want to thank you for tuning in to my channel, checking out my video. Thanks to my subscribers. Thanks to anyone that's viewing. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Please like, share, comment if you're feeling the content of my videos. If you're not feeling my content, throw the video down. Like I always say, that just lets me know I have more work to do. Trying to build this channel into a pretty substantial channel, and it's gonna take time, but I can only do that with the help of you guys. So again, I ask that you know, if you're liking my videos, you're feeling what I'm saying, you're feeling my content, please subscribe to the channel. And let me get on the way about this fight that I watched. First of all, I want to say congratulations to Tyson Fury, his fans, his camp, team. Fury did a good job. That fight looked like a prototypical Tyson Fury fight. You know, I've already gone on some channels and seen some people leaving, you know, making videos and even comments on other people's videos talking about, you know, Fury didn't knock the guy out and he didn't do this and he didn't do that. He's not ready for Wilder, this, that, and the third. Let me say this, and let me be clear about this. If Fury's not ready for Wilder now, he was never going to be ready for Wilder. And when I say that, I mean post and prior to his victory over Vladimir Klitschko. Fury has never been a knockout artist. Yes, he has some knockouts, but he's never the guy that going into a fight you just say, oh, Fury's going to knock this guy out. You know, that's just not what he does. I mean, what Fury does well and has always done well, it's the same thing that he done well today. You know, he's on his toes. He has great lateral movement. He uses his range, great ring generalship. He controls the action. That's how he was able to beat Vladimir Klitschko. It wasn't Fury's power that allowed him to beat Vladimir. It was the very same tools that he used to get that win today. Those are the very same tools that he used to beat Vlad. Those are the same tools that he used to win almost every fight that he's ever won. You know, the guy is who he is. And I, for one, am glad to see that he looks to be in good shape. He looks like the Tyson Fury that I'm accustomed to seeing. Fury did a phenomenal job, in my opinion, of controlling the action, dictating what went on in the ring. His jab was, it looked phenomenal. I mean, he wasn't in there playing around. He was all business. And to me, that tells me that Fury being all business about this fight means Fury's all business about making sure this Deontay Wilder business gets underway. I don't think, and I know there's a lot of people doubting that Fury's going to actually go through with the fight, but I just don't think this guy's worked this hard to get back. It's easy when you're already somewhere to say, you know, I don't want to push myself this extra little bit this time. I'm just going to call off the fight, or I got other things to do, or I just don't want to fight right now. But when you work as hard as he has to get himself not only in fight shape, but just to get himself healthy, mentally and physically, maybe even spiritually, I'm not sure. But all of that hard work this man has done, for me to believe that he's done all this work and is this close to this mega fight, biggest fight that he's been in, you know, maybe save for the Klitschko fight, that he is going to do all of this work to get himself back and fight the two fights he's fought, you know, try to build the fight up even before he's gotten rid of his opponent, only to cut tail and, you know what I'm saying, not make the fight, to actually not go through with the fight. I just don't see that happening. I mean, if it does, if it happens, it happens. You know, for some reason he doesn't go through with the fight, shame on him, and I think he may as well retire, because at that point, nobody's going to ever take him seriously when it comes to the upper echelon of the sport. So with that said, I think the fight will happen. I think, we're going to be thrilled when we get the news next week or whenever they announce the venue, when they announce the whole card and all of that. I think they're still putting all the pieces together, but I don't think that the powers that be are behind this fight are going to drop the ball. I think we're going to be in for a treat as boxing fans with not only this fight, but with the whole card, in its entirety. I think they know that they can't, play around about this card. They can't play around about this fight. They need to be serious. And I think they're trying to make a power move. I think they know that this is kind of the litmus test to see not only at the heavyweight level, but can pay-per-view boxing in the U.S. be what it used to be? And I don't mean back in the 90s, but I mean what it has been in recent times, where a guy can go out there and, where a card can be put on and it does very respectable numbers and everyone makes really good money and come away from it happy, come away from it pleased, and it's being considered a success. And by success, I don't mean just a success to say, well, if you judge a pay-per-view judged as a success in the U.S. is getting, just say if it's 250 pay-per-view buys, and that's just pulling a number out of the air. I'm not saying that is. But I think the goal for this would be to do substantially better than that, because it's one of them things where with the people that are involved, they really want to do great numbers with this pay-per-view. I'm not saying that they're going to get 1 million buys, but I'm saying that they're aiming for a substantial amount of pay-per-view buys, and I think they're going to try to put a card together that gives them the best possible scenario for doing so, because, like I said, they're probably trying to revive pay-per-view in the U.S. I mean, pay-per-view's been on life support in the United States. Even, with, Triple G and Canelo, I don't think that first fight done just like crazy pay-per-view numbers. And I don't have the stuff in front of me. I'm kind of freelancing this thing, flying, coming off the cuff. But I think they wanted that to do better numbers. And I can tell you, I, for one, didn't buy pay-per-view. I didn't buy the pay-per-view for Canelo Triple G. And I can honestly sit here and say I'm not going to buy it for the upcoming fight, the second fight. But I will buy Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury, because those are two guys that are trying to absolutely make some noise in their division. They're serious about what they're doing right now. Canelo and Triple G, I'm not going to support their fight when I hear both guys, basically all they want to talk about is, handpicking opponents and stuff. And they don't want to fight the best guys. They don't want to fight the guys in their division that are perceived as a threat by the fans, the media, or even themselves. I mean, it's like, they want to fight each other, and I'm not sure that they really want to fight anybody other than each other. I've said several times, I think those guys will have this rematch, and I think they'll have a third fight, and depending on the outcome of the third fight, they may possibly even have a fourth fight. Now, that doesn't mean they don't have anything happen in between that time, but I can see this being a several fight thing, and I know that, these guys get credit for fighting each other and saying, hey, they fight not only fighting each other one time, they're fighting each other twice. And I'm still talking about Canelo and Triple G. And yeah, that's all well and fine that they're fighting each other a second time. But where I lose respect for those guys is their lack of interest in fighting guys like Jamal Charlo. And even with Canelo and guys like Andrade and guys like even Danny Jacobs. With Danny Jacobs deserving a rematch, in my opinion, with Triple G. But not only that, Canelo showing very little interest in fighting Danny Jacobs. And even with Canelo, you can go back to his days at 54. Canelo navigated his way around the division and, got out of fighting the guys he didn't want to fight. And then even when it came to the middleweight situation, he fought at Canelo weight for quite some time before he finally moved up and actually fought at middleweight. So, that's why I don't really put my support behind those guys as far as saying I'm going to put my dollars behind their pay-per-view. I'm not getting what I want from those guys, and as a patron and as a customer, as a paying customer, I'm not getting what I want. I'm not gonna pay for it, when I don't have to. So, like I said, I'm glad to see that Wilder and Fury are gonna do their thing. And I'm going to fully support that. I'm going to make videos about it. You know, not just to be making videos, but I'm going to make relevant videos about it, as I do a lot of other things that I think are relevant in the sport. You know, I'm not one of those guys that just crank out videos every hour on an hour just because of things going on in my personal life, different responsibilities and things I have. But I will say that I'm very excited about this fight. There's some other topics around the fight that I'm going to make some videos about, but for the sake of not just dragging this video out too long, I'll make separate videos later about these other things. But you know, the Billy Joe Saunders incident being one of them, and I know I'm kind of late to the party with making the videos on that, because I mean there have been so many videos made about that. But I will say that I heard that the guys have, BJ and Wilder, have kind of squashed the situation and kind of smoothed it out. And I think that was the best thing for that situation, because it's one of them things that could have became bigger than the both of them and ended up being something where somebody got hurt, you know, or, you know, some serious negative implications behind it. So it's one of the things that it's not worth it. So I'm glad that was smooth. I'm glad cooler heads prevailed in that situation. But again, I'll say I'm glad Fury done his thing, got that W. I'll be glad when they officially announce this fight, because I know the naysayers are still going to say, hey, you ain't make the fight yet. And like I said, and up until they get in the ring, you're still going to have people saying the fight is not going to happen. But again, I'll say congrats to Fury. He did a good job today. He done what he was supposed to do. Glad that he was successful. Glad that he looked good in doing so. Will also say that to those of you who, your excuse to say that he's not ready for Wilder is that he didn't knock the guy out, this, that, and the other. Please show me. If you don't show anybody else, if you want to, if you come on here and you want to say anything negative about Fury and saying that, or to discredit Wilder before the fight ever even happened and say Fury isn't ready, show me, D-Lo 404. Show me where Fury was ever this devastating puncher, this devastating knockout artist. If you can show me that, then I'll say, hey, you know, I'll say you know a whole lot more about boxing than I do, and I'll defer to you when it comes to boxing knowledge from now on. But I just don't. I've never seen that in Fury, and I don't think we ever will. Like I said, Fury's good at the things he does, and he does them very well, and he looks like he's back in the form to doing those things well again. Will he do those things well enough to beat Wilder? I don't think so. But I never thought he would ever do those things good enough to beat Wilder. Not once Wilder arrived and became a champion, I never thought Fury was a guy that could get through 12 rounds with Wilder on his feet. I felt like he was always going to get knocked out by Wilder. Does that mean it's going to happen? No, it doesn't mean that. But I'm not here to make fight predictions today. You know, I'll get into that later as well. There's plenty of time to make fight predictions. The fight's not next week. But again, thanks for tuning into my channel. I appreciate your support. Hope you come back to my channel. I hope you subscribe. I hope you comment. I hope you like my videos. I hope you share. Like I said, I'm just trying to build this thing from the ground up and try to build me a successful channel. You know, shout out to everyone out there. Shout out to the LDB. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Team Wilder, Team Fury. You know, glad to see that you guys are on your way to making a good fight in the heavyweight division. Maybe now the rest of these guys that have been stagnant in the heavyweight division will start fighting someone instead of just standing around waiting on a shot that they haven't really put in the work for to even get. With that said, I'm out of here. Peace.